Alright, what's up, people? This is D. I'm from Tiger Phoenix, and today we are going to start a new, journey. A journey into trying to figure out what's the best way to build a website using WordPress. Been going back through a lot of the different builders that they have out there now, and just trying to figure out what's the best one. And I stumbled across one that I think has a lot of potential. Been doing some research. It definitely seems to have a lot of the things that you're looking for, but there has been some conversation, maybe a little controversy over how well it actually works for the person who is not a developer versus a developer who doesn't like the code or wants to quickly get through building out a website without having to be submersed in the code. And just seeing if it's just the all-around type of plugin that you can use. It's a plugin. We'll go through the details of what it is and all that. But basically, it's a plugin that takes place of a theme that gives you a visual builder that allows you to customize any page that you want to however you see fit. So this is part of the dream. Part of the dream is really loving to build websites for individuals, whether it be small businesses, whether it be individuals who are trying to launch something or promote a new passion project that they've been working on, or all the things in between. So I've had my website up for a while. Please forgive me, I have not touched this website in over 6-7 years, so it's probably a little bit dated. There's a lot of things that I need to change about it. But this site was built in WordPress. I'm not even sure which theme I was using for this. But what I really kind of want to do with this series is demystify what it takes to actually put a website together, to show that anyone actually can put a website together pretty in a pretty streamlined fashion. You don't really need to know code. There's just some certain concepts that would really be beneficial for you to understand. But outside of that, a lot of it is in today's day and age in 2020. A lot of it's drag and drop, so it's kind of really figuring out what your vision is, how you want it to look, and then understand the tool set that you're working with, and you can pretty much build anything. One of the things that I feel that I really love to do with my clients is that whole adage of don't catch a fish for someone, teach them how to fish, and they can fish forever and feed their families and all those wonderful things. So I always try to empower my clients to learn how to manage their own sites, to save them money, to give them more control. So part of me kind of moving into this new journey or this new experiment is to see if I can find the right tool set that I can unleash onto someone that has relatively no experience at all with web development, and basically kind of make them a web developer where they can kind of stand up a site on their own, be able to edit that site however they want to, and be able to kind of have a site that they can be proud of, that is not going to cost them an arm and a leg to put together. So this is my attempt to walk through this process. The sweetheart of the hour is Oxygen Builder. Oxygen Builder will be what this series is based off of, but this is just going to be a journey of me kind of recording my screen as I walk through, getting familiar with Oxygen, taking a true honest look at the tool set, how it works, how steep the learning curve is, and what wonderful things it can provide, and then be able to judge if this is something that I would actually recommend to others to use. So full disclosure, I've watched maybe 4 to 5 videos on this from the Oxygen's channel. I do recommend, if you are interested in Oxygen Builder, to go check out their YouTube channel. They have a lot of videos. They have a very active community as well, so you want to join that. And they've definitely taken the steps to make sure, even if some people say that there is a large learning curve, that they provided you with the tools to make that climb as seamless as possible. But let's just jump over to their competitions page, because this is kind of where they're using this as an opportunity to stand themselves away from the pack, and with some of the things that they provide. Now, to purchase this, you basically have lifetime support. You have lifetime updates. But the most important thing that I found that was kind of eye-opening is unlimited licenses. You buy it one time, you can use it on as many sites as you want to. So you could actually purchase this, and if you have 12 different clients, you can install it on every single client's system and set it up and run with it. And I thought that was quite interesting, being that this plugin is actually a theme as well, and we'll get into that in a little bit. So you can kind of streamline your process and how you build things, and limit the amount of plugins that you actually have to have installed. One of the things that we'll go through in a video, probably 3 or 4 videos into this, we'll start talking about performance and what gets loaded when you're loading different plugins to achieve different functionality within the website, and how much those plugins load things into pages that, you know, most of the time you're not even using. If you're on a page that has just one form, and for some reason, if you have a slider on the home page, the slider code gets loaded in the forms page and you're not even using it. I've never seen, looking at some of these sites that are running with Oxygen, I haven't seen load times like this. I've never been able to get my sites to load times like this. So that was, for me, one of the things that really piqued my curiosity. So I went out and I purchased it, and again, one of the things I think is very, very interesting is that it's a limited license, support for life, free updates for life. When you move down to responsiveness, it checks all of the columns for responsiveness. And as you can see, I don't know if any of you are familiar with different types of page builders or page building plugins that you can use with WordPress to set up your site to look visually the way that you want it to look. A few of the popular ones is Elementor, there's Beaver, they went with Divi. I've used a couple other. I use Page Builder, which I believe runs through Aveda, I think was the theme that has it mutually connected to it. Most of these page builders have their pros, they have their cons, and it's really kind of your comfort level of kind of where you want to be and how you want to work, and how that tool sets up for how you work. So that is the overview of the product that we will be using to try to build a website from scratch, and to see how easy it is to pick it up, to see how streamlined it is once we get familiar with it, and to see how it performs overall. For that, I have a good friend, an old dear friend from back a sorority, that they've been attempting to build a website on Wix. And so she reached out to me because they really don't have any knowledge in how to build a website. But what they put together thus far was pretty good for someone that's never built a website before. And so they were asking if I could help. And one of the things that I love to do, you'll see this run through all of my videos. I'm a very positive guy. I'm a very energy motivated type of guy, and I like to have good energy around me. And one of the things that I like to do is I like to give back. So this is one of my opportunities to pay it forward. I had an opportunity for me to learn while paying it forward, so I guess I do benefit a little bit off of this. But I agreed to build the website for them. So this is going to be the website that we are going to take and move over into WordPress and rebuild it using Oxygen Builder. So this is a pretty basic website. There's not a lot here. It's mostly all content, probably 1 or 2 forms. It has about 7 pages. This is the home page. There's an About Us page. And as you can see, one of the things they want to have help with is contrast. Obviously, you don't want to put black on a dark blue background. But I love the colors. I like what they're doing with that. They're going with a purple, blue, and gold motif, it seems like. Under their About Us, they have several different pages, just some informational pages about their sorority, their story behind it, who's involved, and they also are gonna. One of the things I do like that I see that they're doing is they're allowing their group, their membership, to be able to get awareness for the different things that they're doing, whether it be different businesses that they are having, different services that they provide. So I thought that was really cool that they can support each other in that way. And then there's a simple membership form on here that we'll probably be converting to WP Forms, since that seems to be a pretty easy, straightforward. We'll be doing the light, we won't be doing the premium. So we'll rebuild that in there. We'll figure out how we want to design this a little bit differently. And then there's a contact form, which is pretty self-explanatory too. So not a whole lot of crazy things happening on this site. Very, very minimalistic site when it comes to form and functionality, which I think is a great candidate for this series that we're going to shoot. And then they have link out to a few of their social media pages. So that is the job. This is the journey. We will be hosting all this on my new YouTube channel, so this will be the first series on the YouTube channel. As you can see, I got one solely subscriber. If you guys are watching this, I really appreciate the support. To subscribe, like the video, leave comments as I'm going through this. If you guys have any questions about what I'm doing, please drop them into the comment section. If you see me doing something that looks utterly ridiculous, please drop it in the comment section. I'm not a pro at this. I'm going to be rusty. So as you guys see me make mistakes that you think that you could help me out with, drop them in the comment. I'll read everything. I'll comment back on everything. And hopefully we can all get better together. So that, I mean, that's really the goal. One of the things that I did do is I went ahead and created an Oxygen Builder playlist. This playlist is curated from all of the videos that they have on their site. I pulled the videos and I ordered them in a way that made sense to me and how I wanted to understand kind of what was happening with their product. Kind of an overview of what all the features are. Then kind of I wanted to see it happen in, you know, practical real life. So really this newbie guy that you see happening here is what we're going to be recreating for a site that I'm building for someone. So I use Bluehost. Bluehost is my hosting provider that I like to use. I've just started using a new server called Kinsta, which is primarily based specifically for WordPress and WordPress alone. It's very streamlined. Doesn't have a lot of the bells and whistles. You don't have a control panel on all those tools, but it's specifically made just for WordPress development. And from what I'm seeing so far, it might be an interesting opportunity for those who don't need all of the really techie tools in order to get a site up and running. So that's something that I will probably explore and maybe do a video on later. If you have heard about Kinsta and you want to know a little bit more about Kinsta, leave a comment in the video below, and I'll see if there's enough groundswell, and maybe I'll create a video kind of just walking you through the interface of Kinsta and kind of how I'm using it right now with one of my clients that I'm working with. So let's see, the first thing we want to do is we're going to want to create a new site. We're going to call it and I do like, they don't have a tagline, but I do see a line in their homepage that I thought was pretty cool. So the tagline: "We will hold our sisters accountable and hold each other up. We are our sister's keeper." I like that. Alright, and this is the homepage for it. We will get rid of Monster Insights. We don't need that. I don't even know if anyone uses this. Actually, let's go through and do a little cleaning before we even begin. That's what we're talking about. 3 plugins. Alright, and from the jump, we'll take a look at what the site looks like. This is it. This is it from beginning. This is where we will be starting. This is a standard theme that starts with WordPress when you first install it. It is the 2020 theme. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to install the plugin. We're going to wrap for this first video because we are already at 35 minutes and I need to probably edit this down. So we will first install the plugin. So let's get this going. We are going to go up to plugins. We are going to upload a new plugin. We're going to choose a file, and once you're in here, we're going to select the Oxygen, because we're not worried about WooCommerce right now. But we're going to select Oxygen. We're going to install. Once you install, you activate, and then you'll be taken straight to the Oxygen page. And here becomes the first step in the process, which is choosing what you want to do. One of the things that Oxygen gives you at the very beginning is the ability to actually take a site that's already been pre-made with all of the pages, all of the basic pages that you will need to put a site together. Then you just go into each page, swap out your images, swap out your content, and that's a very, very quick and efficient way to get a site up and running. If you are looking to really dive in and get into a really immersive experience, then you're going to want to choose the blank option. The blank option is not going to give you anything. You're going to be starting from scratch like we are, and then we'll figure out where we go. So that is where we're going to start at. And if anyone wants to see how a pre-made site gets done, set up and everything, let me know in the comments. I'll go back and quickly build out one using that. I saw a couple videos on it. It seemed pretty straightforward, so I don't think that's going to be a problem. And I think it'll be good exercise for me to do as I get familiar with this. Anyways, so what we'll do is we'll come down to Oxygen, and from here, this is their basic main page. As you can see from here, you can add new pages in, you can install a website. So if you decided that you got in here, started looking around at all the templates and was like, yo, I don't know where to start, fear not, you can actually jump back in here and install a pre-made website from the Oxygen design library. If you like, we can actually probably jump in here and just take a quick peek at what some of they don't have a whole lot of designs right now. I'm assuming as they continue to grow, they'll continue to add more. But these are the design sets that they have currently right now. And one thing that I do really, really like about Oxygen is each of these different sites has different elements. So when I mention that, for instance, when you look at this section is an element. This hero section is an element. The testimonials is an element. Showcase, another element. So when you're building a site, you can build this whole entire page, or you can just grab the different elements that you want from these pages. I believe they call them sections. I'll learn more about that as I go through it. I think, and I want to make sure I'm using the same vocabulary that they're using. But each of these individual pieces of a website are all something that you could swap in and out based on what you're looking to do. So say you really like the Oxygen header for Atomic, but you jump back in here, but you really like how they did the hero image for Hyperion. So you want to take the header from here, and you want to take the hero image from here, but yet you're like, oh, but what they did down here with the brewery is pretty nice for how they handled all of my content as my content builds in. So I want my content to kind of flow like this. So you can come in here and grab each of these pieces all in, and then throw those all into your own home page. And the beauty is you can go into global styles, and you can convert all of these different themes that kind of, they all have different color palettes and things of that nature. So you can then sync all those color palettes up to whatever color palette that you want to go with, which I think is pretty cool. So if what's advertised works as smoothly as it's explained, then I think this really could be a powerful way for you to really customize a site without really having to do it from scratch. So that is something that I think I do want to explore in a couple of videos. That will be an offshoot of this series. So with that, I think we're going to close. We got Oxygen installed. That's the first part of the battle. So we got a WordPress installation set up. We've installed Oxygen. We already have our website that we're going to be converting over. As you can see from here, we're going to have all of the content that we're going to be transporting from that site over to here. So as you see, I just went through and pulled all of the content out. The links from where they go. I've downloaded all the images, so we should be able to hit the ground running in the next video. and then we should have a lot of fun with this. So if you're still on, thank you so much for coming on this journey with me. I hope you learn a lot. I know that I'll learn a lot. And then please add any feedback, anything that you see, any insight, any ways that I can do things differently. If you are an experienced Oxygen builder, please, all the advice that you can give me will probably speed up my process of learning, and I'd love to work within a community. I think everybody is stronger when we pull together. So any support, any and all support is always welcome. So I look forward to probably putting out maybe a video a day every 2 days. I think this series will probably run about maybe 7 to 10 videos, and we'll see where it goes. This will start off pretty raw, pretty unpolished, so this is more of a documentary than an actual video series, so I apologize for that. I'll work on audio, I'll work on video, I'll work on all those wonderful things as I get a little bit more familiar with doing these videos, and hopefully the product improves as we learn a little bit more about what we're doing here, and then how I'm putting all this together on the back end, behind the scenes, that nobody will see, and then we'll go from there. Truly appreciate you taking this journey with me. I think it'll turn out to be something pretty helpful for those who are searching for the same type of questions and solutions. So with that, be kind to one another. Always strive to make a goal that you can't envision how to reach, and let the universe fill it in for you. Dream big. Be excited about what you're doing, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Appreciate you.